How's it going?
What up?
Thralls Metal again. I'm Necrotic Nick.
Shredlord.
And we're here to do another album review. This time, we're doing Devin Townsend's new one, Empath. Just came out on Inside Out Records last Friday. And, well, let's just get into this one, man, because this is quite the album.
It's a treat. It is his first solo project.
Since Ziltoid. This is the first one he's done that's been, like, on his own. He's been doing Devin Townsend project for quite a while now, and just recently he's just done with that, and he wanted to do something far beyond what he was doing in Devin Townsend project, and
it's different. He succeeded.
He succeeded. This, of course, once again, has the token giant production that Devin Townsend loves and excels at. All the layers, all the different orchestral elements.
Yeah, especially in the beginning. There's so much shit going on. But everything's still really clear, so that's just a testament to how awesome that guy is at production.
Fantastic. And I think this time he wanted to span almost every conceivable genre he could, because just about everything's on this. It opens up with an interesting little instrumental part that is very reminiscent of maybe Beach Boys and Jimmy Buffett.
It's like surf guitar meets Pink Floyd.
And then you go headlong into this proggy awesomeness, which most people have heard by now, Genesis, which spans so many different genres in one song. I mean, you go from kind of traditional prog rock to flat-out death metal. There's even like a little section that has like kind of a ragtime feel to it.
Yeah.
Kind of, you can actually hear the needle going across the record, like almost like a phonograph or something like that. And it's just mind-blowing, but it all works. And
a shit ton of choruses.
Oh my god. Like, if you're big on giant choirs.
If you like giant lady choruses, this album is for you.
Yeah, and you don't want to go to church to hear it.
No.
Yeah, because this is far cooler than any church of mine.
You want to go to the Church of Devi.
The Church of Devi is fun. and that's like one of the awesome things you get on this. Every track, granted it spans so many different things, it's all fun, and it's all well constructed. And it's one of those things that just seems like he only can get away with. Maybe Devin Townsend and Between the Buried and Me, which they've toured together multiple times. So yeah, they're kind of cut from the same
I think
cloth.
Devin even went some places that BT Band would say, you know what, we're gonna stay out of there.
It is a wild listen. Like, you get parts that are very cinematic and
very movie-esque, almost Disney at times. From Disney feel to, you know, almost like we were talking when we were listening to it. It's almost like there's parts on this album where it feels like if you close your eyes, you're watching a movie and you just like discovered the big fucking monster or something. You know, you're like, holy shit, what's that?
It's like 500 feet tall.
Very thematic.
It really works too, because I mean, generally I don't like little intro tracks, like I might just get to the meat of it, but these actually really build up the moment you're going to get into, which none of these songs disappoint. They're all a weird, unpredictable journey, and I really like the fact that all these songs were very unpredictable. You had no idea where they were going to go next. Like, generally, with most music, you feel like you can, like, all right, they're probably going to go into this cool little blast beat and chuggy breakdown. You don't really get that very much with Devin.
It's very sporadic, almost like, once again, a little conversation we had before we filmed this about almost taking you inside Devin's head. You know, it seems like a very personal album. You know, he kind of lets you inside how his brain operates when it comes to music, and it's just as psychotic and crazy and beautiful and all that shit as you would think.
Like 1,000 TV channels
going
and they're
on at
constantly changing channels on all these 1,000 screens. I mean, one of the big standouts for me was the big magnum opus at the end, Singularity, which is a 20-minute track broken down into, I believe, 5 separate movements.
Yeah. And
it is a testament to his songwriting ability and, like, the building of tension and moments, and then the diversity of the stuff he writes. Like, you go in from these little soft, like, the first acoustic guitar
wasn't until
the first,
even though there'd been fucking,
like,
I don't know, weird, like, Cuban instruments and stuff like that, but there was not an acoustic guitar, at least that stood out to us until the very end.
I didn't really hear it, and then the first track that's on Singularity, you hear it, and then he has this less layered vocal, just very personal, like, just, you know, kind of singer-songwriter.
Like you're sitting around the fucking fire with this guy or something.
And then you move into, like, the next part, which goes full tilt death metal. I was like, wow.
Which was really cool.
That was, I love one of my favorite moments.
Which was really cool.
And then next you're going into this really cool, proggy, wonderful song that has lots of cool guitar noodling. And then you get into Steve Vai's performance at the end.
Yeah! Here Comes the Sun, which was the last part of Singularity, starts with Steve Vai just fucking terrorizing as he always does. But it's really good because Steve Vai had quite the influence on Devin, I feel like, when they recorded Sex and Religion together, you know? I think Steve Vai was almost his weird mentor, and when I mean that, I mean, like, just encouraging Devin to be himself. Because if you know anything about Steve Vai, it's, you know, he's never bucked to any trends or anything. Steve has always been Steve, and I think he definitely helped Devin instill that in himself. But it's nice to hear these guys play together because there are similarities in their styles a little bit, and it's cool to hear them intertwine.
Yeah, excellent. Like the whole thing has this, like, if you're familiar with different movie composers, Danny Elfman comes to mind, and his more whimsical kind of dark gothic thing. Like, he's known for
right, whimsical yet dark still.
Yeah, he's cool. Known for doing all the Tim Burton movies. And it's like, take that and then like throw in Strapping Young Lad and Meshuggah and Between the Buried and Me, and you kind of have as much as I could describe what this album sounds like too. And another surprise guest, I thought, even though you really don't hear him in the mix, was Chad Kroeger from Nickelback. He appears on one of the heaviest tracks too.
Was that done on purpose? Maybe.
He kind of just blends in the chorus, and it might just be better that way for...
Will that change my opinion on Chad Kroeger?
Won't.
Absolutely not.
We also had a surprise death growl pop up in the middle of the song Why, which is very... That one actually sounds like a Disney musical. Like, flat out, like, just a nice little song break, and there's birds fluttering, and then out of nowhere... the frontman from Beneath the Massacre comes in with just this punchy death growl. You're like, whoa, what the fuck? And it was one of those little moments that's like, you know what? I was kind of lost there for a moment, but that just little bit of almost self-aware humor in metal really brought me back in again. I was like, this is just fucking brilliant.
Yeah, it was as odd and all over the fucking place as it still was very cohesive. And I think it's a fucking great, great, great album. I hope everyone else feels the same way, because I think it's... something unique that you won't hear another album like this for a long time.
Even within prog.
Yeah.
Even within prog, which is known for being one of the more outlandish
experimental
genres,
yeah.
This even pushes that, and in a good way. I think, you know, if people get influenced by this one, another generation of prog is born out of just Devin Townsend worship. That could be an interesting movement.
Yeah.
Now, as for a rating,
let's get to it. I'll go first. Now, I rate this 4.5 out of 5. The only thing that would have made it 5 to me, because there really wasn't anything wrong, was just picky bullshit on my end. I would have just liked to hear more guitar. That's it. So because of that personal reason, I gave it a 4.5. Yeah.
I gave it a 5. This is my first 5-star rating. I know I said I didn't want to blow that fucking 5-star rating early, but
he blew it.
I've been listening to Devin Townsend for years, and this is
because it's Devin Townsend. He blew it. He blew it everywhere.
But this is the most ambitious thing he's ever done, and like I really think he truly pushed himself on this one. And
oh yeah,
he came up with a symphony.
Nothing was phoned in
madness.
On this album. Yeah.
You know, and this was, you know, one of those examples of an artist bearing his soul, and you really feel that on every track, whether it's when you're just kind of on, or just like, oh my god, this is incredible. You feel that sort of energy, and that made me give it a 5-star rating. It kicks ass. Get this fucking album.
All right. So now you know what we think. We want to know what you think. Go ahead and let us know what you think about this album in the comments section below. And if you like what you saw here, hitting the like and subscribe button.
Definitely. Thank you for watching. Keep it metal.
Always.